Hello and welcome to St. Albert the Great's Church at Home on this, the 33rd Sunday of Ordinary Time, where we celebrate the feast of St. Albert the Great. I'm Jim, the pastoral intern.
Father Ed,
And Father Michael.
it's great to be here with you. We are considering, as Jim mentioned, these end of time, the end times scriptures, because we've come to the penultimate, almost last Sunday in the liturgical year of 2022, and also you're coming to celebrate the feast of Saint Albert the Great, our patron saint. His feast day is November 15th, but since he's our patron saint, we have the privilege of celebrating the Mass of St. Albert the Great at all the weekend Masses. So we have these two themes, and we were kind of thinking that faith and living our faith and giving witness to our faith was maybe the message that brings all of that together for us. So,
Yes, in the Gospel we find Jesus at the temple, as he often is, addressing a crowd of onlookers who weren't necessarily looking for him, but they engage in conversation, and it leads them to asking, about when to expect essentially the end of the world, certain things, the destruction of the temple that Jesus brings up. And he talks about the importance and the opportunity of their witness when they are persecuted for it, when they're dragged before courts and others and authorities and persecuted for their faith. He says this will lead to you giving testimony. And I think we found it as an interesting point that is being made, that there's a tremendous opportunity to witness to faith when things are difficult, that your witness can be well received, readily received, and believed when you're dragged before these courts and you persist in your message and you continue to uphold the faith. But even on the other side of that coin, we then got into talking about the importance of faith in, as St. Paul would say, in all seasons, at all times, when it's easy, when it's tough. I think on the other side of the coin that we see in the gospel, we noted that it's sometimes difficult to have and to practice your faith when everything is good, when everything is easy. You should have no less faith and rely no less upon God, but it might be not first on your mind in those situations.
Yeah, I mentioned, it's not difficult to pray and go to prayer and think of God in prayer when, let's say, your loved one is sick and possibly dying, or when some catastrophe has happened. We see this throughout the world or in the country, when there's a big disaster, the whole world seems to all of a sudden turn to God and plead in prayer. It's a very different story, however, when everything's going, we're winning, and the sun is shining, and our business is good, and all the kids are blessed, and everything's going fine. It might be hard to even get to Mass on Sunday. People say, "Oh, Father, we've just been so busy," and okay. So the a call to witness to our faith and to rely upon God in good times and in bad times seems to be one of the points that we are making. Jim, did you want to add anything to the discussion on witnessing?
I was just thinking, like you were saying, about all the different kind of witnesses, and that, yeah, it's very recognizable, but that family that's always at the parish, especially good times or bad, but especially good times too, because like you were saying, it's very easy to get into I've accomplished this or whatever, and very much forget about God's hand in it. So those who do, those are excellent witnesses. Yeah.
Yeah, and as far as St. Albert the Great feast day, and it's a time for us to kind of get together and celebrate how wonderful things are. It's in our church life and our parish life, and our school life and the ministries, and so in all the generosity of the people that dedicate so much of their time. Um, but I guess even in that, there is the temptation to, um, well, maybe be thinking of our parish as more of a social club, that's here for us. And so the pleasure we take in it is that it gives us something that we need. Um, so it's important to remember what is the purpose of our parish life, and the blessings of parish life is that really we need to be focused again and always on giving witness to the Lord's gift of faith, of salvation, and our call to be missionaries and witnesses to the faith. Um, so maybe on this feast of St. Albert the Great, and we're celebrating his witness and his intercession and his prayer for us, and the great works and the life of St. Albert the Great Parish. Let's not lose track of the opportunity to always, in all of it, to give recognition to uh, God's call and God's mission, and of course the life of Jesus Christ, which is the purpose of all of our lives of faith. So, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for
God
tuning
bless.
in. We'll see you.